Good Wednesday evening, Southeast Texas. Thanks so much for joining 12 News Plus. We're going to be discussing the tropics and your forecast in depth over the next 15 minutes. So if you have any questions, be sure and text us. Otherwise, right now, as we check out the tropics, this is just going to be, this is exactly what I thought. Right there is the low. In fact, I was going to draw it right there. I agree with this 100%. The low is not further off to the southwest. It is very close right there. That's exactly what we're seeing earlier on surface observations, and also some of the satellite imagery was indicating the low just the southeast of Mobile, near Pensacola. Otherwise, this is going to run out of room overnight and tomorrow morning. I do not think this is going to become a depression. What is going to happen is all this moisture is going to move on off towards the west and bring us some rain in our forecast, especially tomorrow night and also Friday across southeast Texas, as the flow around high pressure, which is to the north of it, is generally producing an easterly flow aloft. So that is why this is being directed off towards the west. Now, we think that this is going to basically go something like this and then turn off towards the north and east as we work on into Saturday. Not that this is going to be a closed area of low pressure. This is going to be an area of showers and rain, and at times it could be heavy as it pushes on into our area coming up late tomorrow night and through the day on Friday. Otherwise, you're looking at moisture in the atmosphere. Notice the scale. Actually, I've taken all the dry air off really from here on up. You can see how the colors dictate how much moisture is in the atmosphere. So the yellows and the reds are progressively higher amounts of moisture in the atmosphere. We're going to see a lot of it as we work on into late tomorrow afternoon. We're getting some yellows and oranges in there. So it's moving up the scale as moisture, tropical moisture, comes in from the east. So we'll go with about a 30% coverage during the early evening hours and start ramping that up as moisture really starts moving in as we head towards Friday morning. It'll be with us through the day on Friday. So rounds of some heavy rainfall possible across the area. And we are certainly expecting 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, could be more than that. And then, as you can see, the reds move out and we're back into green. So the atmosphere will be drying through the day on Saturday into Sunday. So we're looking at moisture levels in the vertical. That was X and Y axis. Now we're in the Z axis, up and down. So moisture really starts increasing across the area, as you can see on Friday. That's when we think we're going to see our best chance of rain across the area. And then notice how things start drying out as we work on into Saturday afternoon, and especially next week as moisture begins to move on out of the picture. So right now, beautiful night across southeast Texas. And we do expect mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. So tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting late after about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we're expecting showers to try to roll down I-10 into our area from the east because of that tropical moisture moving in. So we'll go with a scattering of showers and storms after about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Looks like better chances coming up Thursday night and through the day on Friday, probably Friday night too, and then lower chances as we go through Saturday. And it looks hot and dry much of next week across southeast Texas. Moderate levels of weed pollen and mold being reported across the area today on your allergy report. For tomorrow, I'll go with a 30% coverage. This is going to be mainly here in the triangle after about 3 o'clock. Ahead of that, temperatures around 92 to 93. Skies will become partly sunny. Modeling is just showing a 10% coverage. Well, it's got to catch up. I think it's going to be hotter than, not as hot, and also better chances of rain and thunderstorm activity late day. We'll go 93 or so up in the lakes and a 30% coverage. Yeah, I think it's just too dry. Otherwise, certainly not 98 with skies becoming partly sunny to mostly cloudy. So I'm showing you what model data is showing and then my forecast. Otherwise, a little bit of a weather impact. Right now, it's impossible to say if somebody's going to get 6 inches of rainfall. Just can't do that. But there is the potential. It'd be a window basically from, say, Thursday night through the day on Friday, maybe Friday night. And that's where we could see some rounds of some locally heavy rainfall. Right now, I'm expecting 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Could it be higher? Sure. Just don't see anything on any modeling that shows it any higher than 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches. But with very tropical air mass over our area, we've seen this countless time to where modeling just is not able to dictate or to disseminate, differentiate is the word I'm looking for, whether or not somebody gets 1 to 2 inches or maybe 6, 7 inches of rainfall. Hopefully we don't see that, but that's certainly in the realm of possibilities if we get any unexpected feeder band or something that just is not nailed down by the models. We could see some locally heavy rainfall. So just basically stay weather aware coming up Thursday night and through the day on Friday. So right now things are quiet on the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop. It's all off to the south and east, but we should see a little bit of an increase in cloud cover tonight. No rain expected. We'll go with partly cloudy skies, and then at the airports the temperatures are in the upper 80s to lower 90s. So the big picture does show kind of a trough. I do think that low is more just off from Pensacola, kind of a trough extending off to the southwest, but this is all moving basically on off towards the west. So I don't see it developing into a depression, but a lot of moisture, and as you can see, it's not all the area under those clouds is seeing rain. So that's why we're not going to go with more than a 60 or 70% coverage on Friday. But where it rains, it could be heavy. So just keep that in mind as this tropical mass of moisture moves into the area. Otherwise, the state of Texas is pretty much dry across East Texas. So tonight looks quiet across Southeast Texas. We'll see mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as temperatures will drop into the low to mid 70s. Lakes, mid to upper 70s and the lower 80s in the triangle. Then for tomorrow, I think the first half, maybe the first 2/3 of the day should be basically dry across our area. So not expecting any rain before maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. After about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then all bets are off because we're going to be seeing that flow move that moisture towards our area. See what I'm saying? Not everybody getting the rain, but some locally heavy rainfall and some little bands that try to form. Certainly possible. I think 30% coverage is warranted as we head towards, say, 5, 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and those rain chances will be going up as we head towards Friday across the area. So we didn't see any rain today. Why? A lot of dry air at 7,000 feet. Look at all the moisture. That's where all the shower and thunderstorm activity is occurring with that tropical disturbance in the north central Gulf. As you can see, the green depicting that very well, as you can see. Just dry here with all the brown and with all the green. That's where all that moisture is, and that's where all the shower and thunderstorm activity is occurring. So put this into motion, see how that moisture moves in from the east tomorrow afternoon. So we ought to see something after about 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. May try to see some type of line trying to move on in, not expect to be severe particularly, and then that will be the case as we head on into Friday morning and Friday through the day, looking like lots of moisture. So there'll be lots of opportunity to produce shower and maybe a few thunderstorms, mainly rainfall. It could be heavy, as I said. And if we get any sun, which I don't think, that would only increase the instability and make it more widespread across southeast Texas. So that is going to be your day on Friday, looking cloudy for the most part, and rounds of rain, which could be heavy at times. And then as we head towards Saturday afternoon, look at the brown. That brown symbolizes dry air at 10,000 feet. You always have moisture at the ground level in summertime. That's just a given. So when you are able to look at, say, around 10,000 feet, this is the level at 10,000 feet, that's a good indicator of moisture moving in and out of your area. And that's really helpful, especially if you live along the Gulf Coast, because a lot of model data doesn't do real well because you don't have a lot of data points out in the Gulf. So we think that the moisture will be decreasing Saturday and our rain chances will be going down Saturday. And look what happens as we work on into next week. Not buying this, but lots of dry air as higher pressure builds on in. Now, the high will be building over our area and off towards our north and east, so we may have to tune our attention to maybe middle of next week as we may try to see some shower and thunderstorm activity, see that moisture trying to come around high pressure, which is going to be off towards our north, around that high. So some storms could sneak in our area maybe Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday late next week. But much of next week looking dry after we get done with this coming up on Thursday night into Friday. So on the Gulf looking like good boating conditions, obviously, through the day. It may not be the case coming up on Friday, though. So tonight, looking at skies, mostly clear to partly cloudy, and just don't expect any issues. Light winds going calm. Low to mid 70s up in the lakes, and the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s in the triangle expected. Your outdoor forecast, again, this shower and thunderstorm activity, 20 to 30% coverage we're forecasting for late day. Again, it's going to be probably after about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So skies should be increasing in cloud cover as that moisture begins to move out of Louisiana towards our area. So we'll bring the afternoon high temperatures down into the lower 90s, and heat index still could get up to about 102, 103 in spots. But UV index, I think, is a little bit low. They're going 2, and we'll see light south and southwest winds. So we're not expecting any winds out of this at all. It's all about the rain and how much we get through, say, Saturday across southeast Texas. So again, 20 to 30% coverage. Best chances will be Burkeville, Newton, Deweyville, Orange, Bridge City. Lesser chances, Woodville, Warren, China, and Winnie. So basically coming from the east, and it'll be after about, say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, probably after 5, coming from the east, and that's when we would see it. Otherwise, increasing cloudiness. We may see lots of sun in the morning on say, Thursday, but skies will become either partly sunny, maybe even mostly cloudy by quitting time tomorrow afternoon. The winds are going to be light, as you can see, south to southwest. They may actually be west to northwest in the morning and becoming south and southwest in the afternoon. So heat indices ahead of that rain and thunderstorm activity, as I said, could be around 100, 102. And then look what's going on. This is, again, one model showing that, look at those heat indices coming on down. That's rain right there. That's shower and thunderstorm activity coming over from Lafayette, Jennings, and Kinder, trying to move in from the east. So that is another indicator that we think we're on the right track as far as bringing in shower and thunderstorm activity tomorrow. So, again, I'm going to show you a general forecast model that shows generally, again, 1-2 inches of rainfall, 1 to 2. We've been saying all this route, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Now, heavier rains will be off towards our east, over towards Lafayette, Morgan City, Eunice, over that area, and back over into, say, Nollins. Baton Rouge should see heavier amounts of rainfall. So, again, lots of moisture in the atmosphere. This 1 to 2 inches certainly could be doubled in spots. So just keep that in mind because of the atmosphere is going to be super loaded with moisture coming in from the east coming up Thursday night into Friday. So we will go with a 50% coverage coming up Thursday night, a 70% coverage coming up on Friday. Lots of clouds, so that'll knock afternoon high temperatures down. Of course, if it comes down heavy enough, you could drop into the lower 80s. And then rain chances will be going down Saturday. We elected to go with a 40% coverage. It's looking like partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies. So back up we go on the temperature side. And as you can see, looking at a 10% coverage coming up on Sunday. Otherwise, higher pressure builds on in, and we're back into the mid 90s coming up Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So again, if you're just joining us, we think that this is running out of room in the north central Gulf, and as you can see, low pressure is right there, and as you can see, very close to land. This is just not going to turn into a depression. Thought there may be a chance if it was further off over into the north central Gulf, but it's just too close to land, we think. Regardless, could see rounds of rainfall that could be heavy at times, rotating into the area as we head on into Thursday night and on into Friday. Otherwise, that's the very latest on the tropics and your local forecast here in southeast Texas. Hope you are doing well, and thanks so much for watching 12 News Plus. Have a good night.